So, what is a marine VHF radio? A marine radio is a communication device designed for use on watercraft to ensure safety, navigation, and coordination at sea. It operates on a very high frequency or a high frequency. It allows voice communication between vessels, shore stations, and emergency services. Marine radios are used for distress signaling, weather updates, ship-to-ship or ship-to-shore communication, and other essential maritime operations. Marine radios are most common, featuring short-range communication, usually up to 20 miles, while high-frequency radios offer long-range capabilities. Many modern marine radios also include digital selective calling or DSC for automated distress alerts. Digital selective calling or DSC is a standard for automated distress and safety communication in marine radios. It allows vessels to send pre-formatted digital messages over VHF or HF frequencies, typically to alert other ships or shore stations. DC can transmit a distress signal at the push of a button, including the vessel's identification or MMSI number, and if connected to GPS, its location. This system ensures quicker and more accurate emergency responses while also enabling selective calling to specific vessels or groups, reducing unnecessary broadcast. Why do you need a marine radio on board? So having a marine radio on board your vessel is essential for safety, navigation, and communication. So here's why you need one. Emergency assistance. So in case of distress, you can quickly call for help using the International Distress Channel, VHF Channel 16. Marine radios with digital selective calling or DSC can send automatic distress alerts, improving response times. Weather updates. You can receive real-time weather forecasts and warnings, helping you avoid dangerous conditions. Coordination. You can communicate with mariners, harbour authorities or other vessels for docking instructions, navigation advice or safety warnings. Legal requirements. So in many countries, having a marine radio is mandatory for certain types of vessels or when venturing beyond specific distances from shore. Enhanced range. Marine radios provide better communication range than mobile phones, especially in areas with weak cellular signals. Group communication. Easily coordinate with other boats in your group, whether for leisure activities or safety monitoring. A marine radio is a critical tool for ensuring safety and efficient communication while enjoying time on the water. How does a marine VHF radio work? So a marine VHF radio works by transmitting and receiving voice communications over very high frequency or VHF radio waves, which travel in straight lines or line of sight. This is how it operates. Transmitting. When you speak into the microphone and press the push to talk button, your voice is converted into radio waves and transmitted on a specific channel. Receiving. The radio listens on the selected channel for incoming signals. When a signal is detected, the radio converts it back into audio for you to hear. Line of sight communication. VHF radio waves travel directly between the transmitter and receiver, making the range dependent on antenna height and obstacles. So a typical range is between 5 and 20 miles. Channels. Marine VHF radios operate on predefined channels for specific purposes, like distress calls on channel 16, ship-to-ship communication, or weather updates. Digital features. Many radios include digital selective calling or DSC for sending automated digital distress signals or directly contacting specific vessels. Marine VHF radios provide a reliable and efficient communication essential for maritime safety and coordination. What licenses or certificates are required to operate a marine VHF radio? The licenses and certificates required to operate a marine VHF radio vary by country, but typically include an operator's certificate, a short-range certificate or SRC is required in many countries, including those following International Telecommunication Union standards for operating VHF radios with digital selective calling or DSC. A restricted operator certificate for basic VHF operation in some jurisdictions. Vessel's radio license. A license is often required for the vessel itself, which registers the onboard radio equipment and assigns it designated a Maritime Mobile Service Identity or MMSI number for DSC functionality. Local variations. Some countries may have additional or alternative requirements. For example, in the UK, SRC issued by the Royal Yachting Association, and in the US, no operator license is needed for recreational vessels under federal law, but a ship station license is required for certain uses. Always check the regulations in your country or the waters you'll be navigating to ensure compliance. What are VHF radio channel groups? Marine VHF radio channels are grouped based on their specific purposes to organize communication and ensure safety at sea. Here are the main channel groups. Distress, Safety and Calling Channels. Channel 16, International Distress, Safety and Calling Channel, always monitored for emergencies. Channel 70, dedicated to Digital Selective Calling, or DSC, for automated distress and urgent alerts. Ship-to-ship channels, used for communication between vessels, often for navigation and collision avoidance. Examples are channels 6, 8, 72 and 77. Port operations and navigation channels for communication with harbour authorities, bridges and vessel traffic services, VTS. Examples channels 11, 12, 14 and 20. Internship working channels for working and coordinating activities between vessels. Examples channels 67, 68, 69, 71, 73 and 74. Weather channels varies by region. Broadcast real-time weather updates and forecasts. Examples are channels WX1, WX2, etc. in the US or specific VHF channels in other regions. Commercial channels reserved for communication between commercial vessels or with service providers. Examples are channels 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Leisure and non-commercial channels, often used by recreational boaters for non-critical communication. Examples are channels 68, 69 and 71. Duplex channels allow simultaneous two-way communication, often used for ship-to-shore communication with marine operators. Note, channel availability and use may vary by region as countries regulate VHF channel allocations differently. Always check local maritime regulations. What additional features are useful to have on a marine VHF radio? When choosing a marine VHF radio, additional features can enhance its functionality, safety and convenience. So useful features include digital selective calling or DSC. This sends automated distress signals with GPS coordinates. It's essential for quick emergency responses. Integrated GPS automatically includes your location in DSC distress calls and simplifies navigation. Weather alerts receives National Weather Service or NWS or equivalent alerts to keep you informed of weather changes. AIS receiver displays the position of nearby vessels equipped with automated identification system or AIS, which improves situational awareness. Dual watch or tri-watch monitors multiple channels simultaneously, such as channel 16 and a working channel. Waterproofing and durability, rated IPX7 or IPX8 for waterproofing, ensuring reliability in wet conditions. Floating design, floats if dropped overboard, often with a built-in strobe light for easy retrieval. Noise cancelling microphone, reduces background noise for clearer communication in windy or noisy environments. Large display and backlit screen, improves visibility in low light or direct sunlight. Handheld or fixed mount options. Handheld radios for portability, fixed mount models for higher power and range. Power options, variable power settings, for example 1 watt for short range, 25 watts for long range to conserve battery or boost signal strength. Bluetooth connectivity allows integration with smartphones or headsets for hands-free operation. Scanning features scans multiple channels or pre-programmed favorites to ensure you don't miss important broadcasts. ATIS or Automatic Transmitter Identification System, required in some inland waterways in Europe for vessel identification. External speaker or microphone ports enhance audio clarity or enable remote operation from different parts of the vessel. These features can significantly improve your safety, convenience, and overall boating experience.